This watch retails for $7,250. Am I remotely qualified to review it?
Old line watches, luxury edition.
No. Is that going to stop me? Also no. Today we are going to be reviewing the Graham Chronofighter DLC Vintage Red Limited Edition. I might have gotten some of those words out of order. There was a lot in the title of it. They are in my opinion, they're what would be a true high horology watchmaker. Independent, pretty unique and striking designs. Rolex is a name everybody knows, but it's mass market. It's designed to appeal to as many people as possible, not kind of like targeting watch nerds, which I feel Graham does. So with that said, we take a brief moment here to ask you to kindly feed the algorithm by subscribing, liking, commenting, all of those sort of things. Yeah. If you want to check out other stuff or look for cool stuff, discounts, things like that, affiliate links that help me out, producing content and all that jazz, hit the description. That'll have all the links and everything like that, as well as links to this beautiful piece here. So without further ado, let's dive in on this puppy.
Statistics and specification.
So here we are with the Chronofighter Vintage DLC Red Limited Edition, reference to CVAB.B41A. Yeah, that's quite a mouthful. Hoi. Alright, let's get into some proper specs here. Diameter, 44 millimeter. Lug to lug of 51.9. Lug width of 22. It is 15.5 millimeters thick, including the crystal. And it weighs a feathery 128 grams on the supplied leather strap. It is powered by the G1747 chronograph movement. It is a modified ETA 7750 base. Runs at 28,800 vibrations per hour. Features the Inca Block shock absorber, 25 joules, a 48-hour power reserve, and the movement is Chronofiable certified. Chronofiable is similar to COSC, except that instead of it rating the accuracy of the movement, it is rating the durability of it to shock absorption and magnetics and that sort of stuff. The case is DLC, which is diamond-like carbon, which is a much more durable and scratch-resistant version, so to speak, of PVD, which you usually see with your not quite so that you're, bleh. PVD is what you see on your more budget-friendly options. It features a concave bezel with a nice little single step. Features their cool chrono trigger design, which we will touch more on in a moment. The mid case has a nice outward bulge to it. There's well-curved lugs for a very nice fit despite the large size. So we have a dome sapphire with AR coating on the top and underside of the crystal and a nice red sapphire on the underside. The chronograph itself features a thumb trigger activation for start and stop. And the upper crown, more plunger type for a reset. I particularly like the mechanism is assembled, as you can see by the screws. It is all assembled in-house, not on-house. Yeah, we go outside and get up on the roof and do it. Yeah, that's great. It features a push-pull crown, almost an onion style, but not quite. Now I'm going to pay a little more attention to the case back here. We have very gorgeous red sapphire glass. As you can see, the movement is highly decorated and utterly gorgeous. Also adjusted to 5 positions. 100 meter water resist. It is number 0 of 100 because this is the prototype, not one of the production models. But you can also see how tough the DLC coating is because this thing has been around to various ADs, reviewers at watch shows, all that kind of stuff. So this thing's seen the rounds and been beaten up pretty good, and it still looks factory fresh. The strap is all hand-stitched calf leather. Kosu man. It's French, I believe, or Swedish or whatever, but it basically means like top-notch, hot stuff. The buckle is signed, DLC'd, and features a nice deep cut to it so that on the wrist it has a very narrow profile. It doesn't push out too much, so it rests nice and smooth on the wrist. On the dial, as you can see, the entire thing is very cockpit inspired. Got that whole retro, like World War II fighter vibe going on. Red Arabics printed all around with a red minute track to go with it. Big 12, Graham and Chronofighter printed underneath the Big 12. The 3 o'clock subdial is the running seconds in the style of an old school cockpit altimeter. A 30-minute chronograph at 6, which is in the style of the old airspeed gauges. Swiss made at the bottom there. Keeping with the vintage cockpit theme, we have a day-date wheel with the day before and day after on the dates. The dial itself is a matte black with very subtle kind of a sand grain type texture. The primary hands, the hour and minute, are kind of a broadsword / syringe hybrid, also fully loomed. Hours are also loomed. All of it is grade X1 Superluminova. The chrono hand is white with a pop of lume and a little red tip on it. The chronograph hand is rhodium plated, as are the hour and minute hands. The running seconds hand is a nice pop of red as well.
And look at that loom just a-blazing. Cheers and cheers.
On the props category, this thing has an unparalleled level of finish quality to it. I really can't even... It doesn't look complex, but the level of QC on this is just outstanding. The entire vintage vibe of this thing is exceptionally cool. The outstanding superstar obviously is that whole chrono trigger thing there. Little throwback for any of you SNES nerds out there as well. They don't actually call it a chrono trigger. I do. That's probably trademarked and they would get sued. The crown is a little difficult to use. Pulling it out is a little difficult to get precise for the day-date function or time setting function. And hand winding it is very awkward. It is almost something you want to do the Seiko shuffle with to get started. Neither prop nor slop, but just kind of an elephant in the room on this, is the cost of it. It's very expensive. It's outside of my realistic budget for sure, and a lot of people watching this as well, but it is fun to look at and fun to think about. And for those that can afford it, it is absolutely a fantastic timepiece and definitely a proud addition to any collection. So that was the Chronofighter Vintage DLC Red Limited Edition. I can't say enough good things about this watch. I didn't know this level of watchmaking could exist, to be honest with you. This is outside of my normal realm of things, of, you know, the more budget-friendly, occasional mid-tier type stuff. This is past all that. I'm extremely grateful for them to lend this piece to me. Shows a great amount of trust in me, which I'm extremely appreciative of, and it is that trust has been well placed. I'm going to be reaching out to them to make arrangements to send it back so it may continue its life with another reviewer at a show, wherever it's destined to be next. So in the words of Ferris Bueller, it is so choice. If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up. I'd like to say thank you to everyone for watching. Again, please feed the algorithm to further make me feel good about myself. So, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Until next time, it's your old man from the Old Line State, signing off.